Good day, class. I hope you all good. Students, now you are all promoted to a higher level. Ninth grade, right? Yes. Now you are all no more kids. Most of you enters your teenage. Spend this most amazing colorful period in developing yourself. Focus on your strength and develop it. I once read an article based on a research saying that every person can do at least one thing better than 10,000 other people. Students, think about it. This fact is based on research. Don't think this won't apply for me, because God has blessed each one of us with unique ability that cannot be matched by anyone in your city or neighbor or in your school. Once you find your strength, you are probably well on your way to achieve your life's purpose. Students, you have a lot of time at home. Just work on your strength. First find it, then nurture it with God's given ability. Then one day you will realize its flourishness. I hope from today onwards, class 9 students are going to be the researcher of their own life. I'll tell you some tips. Take a paper and pen. Write all your strength and then slowly find in which one you are extremely blessed. It will take some time, but once you find, it will be helpful for your entire future. Students, now let's move on to the class. For today's class, we're going to see grammar topic clauses. Students, first let's see the definition for the clause. A clause is a group of words that contains both a subject and a predicate. I repeat, a clause is a group of words that contains both a subject and a predicate. That is, each clause must have a subject and a predicate, that is, verb. Let's see some example. He arrived. He is angry. That was made of stainless steel. In first sentence, he is a subject. Arrived is a predicate. In second sentence, he is a subject. Is angry is a predicate. In third sentence, that was a subject. Was made of stainless steel is a predicate. These group of words are called clauses because they have subject and predicate of their own. Now let's see the type of clauses. There are two main types of clauses. They are independent clause and dependent clause. Independent clause and dependent clause. First, let's see the independent clause. Independent clause are also known as main clause or complete sentence. I repeat, independent clause are also known as main clause or complete sentence. That is, they can stand alone and express a complete meaningful sentence. They can stand alone and express a complete meaningful sentence. Now, I'll give an easy technique to find it. That is, subject plus verb that gives complete thought, then it's called independent clause. I'll repeat, subject plus verb that gives complete thought, then it's called independent clause. Let's see some example. I need a book. Mary prefers tea. In first sentence, I is a subject, remaining need a book is a predicate, and also this sentence is complete and it's give meaning. I need a book. It's give meaning, right? Therefore, it is called independent clause. Likewise, in the second sentence, Mary prefers tea. Here, Mary is a subject. Remaining prefers tea is a predicate. And this sentence is complete and it gives meaning. Mary prefers tea. It gives meaning. Therefore, it is called independent clause. I hope you are all clear in independent clause. Now let's move on to the dependent clause. Dependent clause are also known as subordinate clause. Dependent clause are also known as subordinate clause, and it contains a subject and predicate, but they do not express a complete thought. I'll give an easy technique to find it. That is, subject plus verb that not complete thoughtful sentence. Subject plus verb that not complete thoughtful sentence is called dependent clause. Let's see some example. When it is raining, because you were late. In the first sentence we have subject when and predicate it is raining. Likewise in second sentence, because is a subject and you were late is a predicate. So therefore both the sentence contain subject and predicate. But see whether the sentence has complete thought. When it is raining, is it gives any meaning? Likewise, because you were late, is it gives any meaning? No. This shows there is some sentence should come before or after to uphold this sentence. So therefore, these type of sentence without complete thought are called dependent clause. Students, I hope you understood what is clause and its types. Now let's do some workout. If you don't study well. Now see the sentence. If you don't study well, the sentence is completed because it has subject and predicate. But does it give any complete thought? If you don't study well, is it give any complete thought? No, right? Yes. Therefore, it is dependent clause because it has no complete thought. Now see, you won't pass the exam. Now see the sentence, you won't pass the exam. This sentence has complete thought, right? You won't pass the exam. It gives some complete thought. It has subject and predicate. Also it has complete thought. So therefore it is called independent clause. Now see, if you don't study well, you won't pass the exam. If you don't study well, you won't pass the exam. Now the sentence, if you don't study well, when we see it alone, it doesn't have complete thought. But when it joins with independent clause, it gives meaningful thought. I hope you understood. Still, let's see one more example. Kavin bought a car. Kavin bought a car. This sentence have subject and predicate, and also it gives complete thought. Kavin bought a car. It gives some meaning. So therefore it is called independent clause. Now look at this sentence. Which was too expensive. Which was too expensive. Although the sentence has subject and predicate, but it does not carry any complete thought. Which was too expensive. It doesn't have any meaning. Therefore, it's called dependent clause. Now, have a look at this. Kavin bought a car which was too expensive. Here, Kavin bought a car is an independent clause. Which was too expensive was dependent clause. Dependent clause always rely on independent clause to make a complete meaningful sentence. Students, I hope you understood. Let's have a small recap. A clause is a group of words that contains both a subject and a predicate. There are two types of clauses. One is independent clause and another one is dependent clause. First, let's see independent clause. Independent clause are also known as main clause or complete sentence. Next, dependent clause. Dependent clause are also known as subordinate clause, and it contains a subject and predicate, but they do not express a complete thought. Now let's move on to the three main types that comes under dependent clause. That is noun clause, adverb clause, adjective clause. Let's see one by one in detail. First, let's see noun clause. Before we see noun clause, first let's see what is noun. I know you are all thorough with parts of speech. Still, let's brush up. Noun is a word that refers name of a person, place, things, concept, period of time, etc. I repeat, noun is a word that refers name of a person, place, things, concept, period of time, etc. Now let's see what is noun clause. In a sentence clause that begins with words like how, that, what, whatever, when, where, whether, which, whichever, who, whoever, whom, whomever and why are called noun clause. Students, kindly take a note and note down this. In a sentence clause that begins with words like how, that, what, whatever, when, where, whether, which, whichever, who, whoever, whom, whomever and why are called noun clause. Let's see an example. Whoever invented this machine is a genius. Whoever invented this machine is a genius. Here, whoever invented this machine is a noun clause because whoever is a subject. Now you can easily confirm whether it is noun clause or not by replacing the noun clause with he or she, as the whole noun clause is referring to a person. Now see, instead of whoever invented this machine, let's replace it with he or she. He is a genius. She is a genius. Yes, the sentence sounds sensible, right? So this clause is a noun clause. Let's see another example. Why the teacher punished her remains a mystery to me. Why the teacher punished her remains a mystery to me. Here, why the teacher punished her is a noun clause because why is the subject. Now, let's replace the sentence with the noun it. How it look? It remains a mystery to me. Yes, still the sound remains sensible, right? Still the sentence remains sensible. Therefore, it's called noun clause. Now let's move on to the adverb clause. Before that, let's see what is adverb. An adverb is a word which modifies a verb. An adverb is a word which modifies a verb. Now let's see what is adverb clause. Adverb clause begins with words such as because, when, whereas, as though, even if, unless, till, as if. Let's see some example. He talks as though he has seen it all. He talks as though he has seen it all. Here, as though he has seen it all is an adverb clause because it highlights about the action talks. Let's see one more example. He stayed away from his classmates because he thought they were a bad company. He stayed away from his classmates because he thought they were a bad company. Here, he thought they were a bad company was the adverb clause because it highlights about the action, that is verb, stayed away. Students, I hope you understood the two clauses. Now let's move on to the third one, adjective clause. First, let's see what is adjective. An adjective is a word that qualifies a noun, that is, it gives some information about the noun. I repeat, an adjective is a word that qualifies a noun, that is, it gives some information about the noun. Now let's see what is adjective clause. Adjective clause act as adjective and it modifies the noun in a sentence. Adjective clause act as adjective and it modifies the noun in a sentence. Let's see some example. The dog which is black and white in color is very cute. The dog which is black and white in color is very cute. Students, what we saw about adjective clause? It describes the noun, right? Yes. Therefore, adjective clause comes after the noun. Likewise, here in this sentence, the dog is a noun. Then, which is black and white in color describes the noun. Describes the noun, the dog. Therefore, it is an adjective clause. Let's see one more example. The boy who is standing near the elevator might be Rian's cousin. The boy who is standing near the elevator might be Rian's cousin. Here in this sentence, the boy is a noun. Then, who is standing near the elevator gives more information about the noun, the boy. Therefore, it's called adjective clause. Students, till this I hope you understood. Let's see remaining things in that chapter in next class. Be safe and learn happily at home. Thank you.